I'll share with you a couple of thought-provoking lessons I learned by watching a what do you call that, reality show? Yeah, reality show 2001. The name of the show is called Tough Enough. I managed to get it from Daily Motion. Problem is, this was not available online anywhere. So it's only available on streaming service of Peacock, which is based in USA. So the only other place I could get it was Daily Motion. So I was watching the seasons of Tough Enough. By the way, just so that you know, I like watching fighting, like what goes behind the scenes of a boxer or a fighter, MMA fighter, mixed martial arts, or even WWE wrestling. I'm a fan of how they create the brand and the struggles they have to go through as an athlete. So the summary of this Tough Enough season is there are two slots available, just two. One for a guy, one for a girl, means man or woman, who can become a WWE, that is wrestling superstar. Okay. Generally what happens is, if anyone wants to get into the wrestling business, he has to start from the local scene where maybe 5 or 10 people will be watching. From there they go into bars or pubs where they have a small ring. You don't get paid any money for that. You just show wrestling, even if it is fake fighting or whatever you call it. But the acrobatics is very real. The bumps and the bruises are very real. So then when your demand picks up with the character that you have created, like you can be a good guy or a bad guy, then you move into, the higher scenes. And then slowly maybe you'll start getting paid $50 a match, $100 a match, based on your crowd pulling capacity, like a DJ. The more crowds you pull in, the more money you get. And from there you move to the state level. From there you move to the regional, the national. Then finally, if you're really good and you really stand out, then the top dogs, the AEW, WWE, Japan Pro Wrestling, these top agencies, they pick you up. But for many people, this journey takes them 15, 20 years. Just imagine 20 years of your life not being paid or hardly being paid, spending money, spending time, gym, food, supplements, steroids, painkillers, doctor visits, building up a brand, driving down, up and down. So you have to dedicate your life for this. So this Tough Enough reality show was an opportunity in 2001 for you to skip the line. Instead of doing all these 20 years or 15 years, within the next maybe 9 weeks, one guy and one girl will be chosen. So in order to get the ball running, they invited people to put in their applications. It seems around, 40,000 or something. Big number applied. You have to send your video, you have to send your bio, you have to send, a tape, video, VHS tape those days. So 40,000 or some 25,000 sent. From there, only I think 237 or something were chosen for the live audition. So there was a big line outside New York, and they were auditioning them in a, I think, bar or pub, large one. So there they asked them many questions. They asked them, for the guys, take off your shirt and show your physique. For the girls, okay, do some posing. Then they would have various tests like, okay, jumping jacks, push-ups, run here and there. Then they would have tests like, okay, give us your promo, show us, entertain us with your ability to talk. So they made them do all this, and people from various backgrounds, from the ages of 18 till 40, somewhere very much in shape. They look like professional bodybuilders. Some were professional athletes. Some were really fat. Some were very skinny. Some were like very attractive looking. Some were very ugly looking. So all kinds of people, short, tall, fat, were, and the judges were professional wrestlers evaluating them. And they did this for the whole day. Whole day. So after which, from 237 or 250, whatever, 237 is my is my hourly rate. Just got mixed up. 250. They came down to the last 25. And there you could see so many people, before, during the interview, those 250 people, each one of them, when the camera man, and they were asking them, do you believe you're the one? Yeah, I believe I'm the one. I was destined to make it happen. I believed in my bone. Society laughed at me. My parents didn't believe in me. I've been dreaming about this from childhood. All of them, each and everyone, really truly believed they were the ones. They believed they were destined to achieve this. And some said openly, I challenge you that prove me wrong. I'll be the one selected. And it came from their heart. They really believed. Even guys who are fat and out of shape and who never did one push-up in their life, they believed they could be the next WWE superstar. So imagine the cognitive bias that there is. Finally, from the 250, 25, when they were chosen, their names were displayed outside the window. And one by one, people started looking, and some even were pissed off, some were angry. So like, what the hell is this? I got up at 3 in the morning, stood in line and waited the whole day and, for the auditioning. And there was a female who even came down from Australia. She literally had to beg, borrow, request money to travel all the way to New York. And she was crying that she didn't get. So there were a lot of reactions you should have seen. Finally, the 25 went in. They were very happy, and the judges and the staff said, okay, we will now make you undergo tests, blood test, health test, whether you're fit to wrestle. And then we'll have an interview with the production team. That time it was MTV. We will evaluate you. Don't fake it, be yourself. So the 25 were very happy. And there, once again, you could see them saying, I knew it, I would do it. I am the next one, I'm the next one. And they would keep saying it. And so finally, from there, in the evening, when they were taking the shooting, from the 25, only 13 would be chosen. 1, 3 or 12 or whatever. So they were all standing down. Stephanie McMahon, who is the WWE Vince McMahon's daughter, and she is the chief operating officer those days. So she came and she said, I will call out the names and you will come up on stage, those who have done it. And out of the 25, one by one, they chose the top 12 or top 13. And they were asked to come on stage. And surprisingly, some of them, like one guy's name is Todd, very small guy. So everyone was shocked. Oh, he's the thinnest, he's the smallest. How come they selected him? And there was a super tall female who, she got selected. Then there's a super big guy. And I was just watching their faces, how each one of them was reacting to be selected and how each one was reacting not being selected. And finally, after the ones who got selected came on stage, they were hugging each other. And the ones who were down, who didn't get selected, they were hugging each other and saying, it's okay, happens. Then there was this guy with an amazing six-pack, a black guy. He didn't get selected. He was very disappointed. And here's the funny thing. His story was very heartfelt. He wanted to encourage young kids to believe in their dreams. He wanted to help prevent suicide. I think he also tried to commit suicide. His brother tried to commit. So he wanted to help others, inspire others. But even with all these great thoughts and great hopes to change the world, he didn't get selected. A female got selected instead, who said, I don't mind showing my tits and my ass and being on Playboy. She got selected. So, Yeah, I guess it's a showbiz. Now, obviously, I know who's the winner because this was aired in 2001. But I was watching each one, each character, how they believed in themselves, how they knew for a fact they were the ones going to be selected. They were the future of the business. They were going to be the next superstar. And now here's the funny thing. I'm going to give you the spoiler who won in 2001. So you don't listen to it, might go 30 seconds ahead. So this guy, I'm going to say the name now. This guy, his name is Maven. Maven got selected as a 2001 winner. Okay. Now here's the funny thing. He got selected out of all those, the entire United States, 40,000 people who applied. He was the only one who got selected in the end. And here's the funny thing. He got selected. He became, part of the WWE, roster. But he didn't last very long. His career ended because the audience couldn't connect with him. They lost interest in him. And eventually, he died out. In fact, if you go through the WWE Tough Enough seasons, all the guys who are winners, the funny thing is, the winners didn't survive very long. They came, they survived for some time and they vanished. In fact, there were people who didn't qualify, who didn't make it through the rounds. They ended up being stars and some ended up being bigger stars. So it was so unpredictable, the whole, when you look at the whole show, not just as a show, but like today is what, 2024, 24 years. If you look, you would see life where people thought they achieved success, but then it amounted to nothing. People thought they failed, but they became successful. People, thought this was their career calling, but they changed it. So almost everyone believed in themselves. Almost everyone believed they were going to achieve greatness. This was their calling. And there have been even wrestlers who got the opportunity of a lifetime and they quit the business. They said, no, this is not meant for me. So when I was, why I like to see these reality shows, it's like, it takes you back in time. It's like, if I were to watch this reality show at that time, I would be like, wow, this guy's going to be a champion. But then because I'm looking at things back in time, I can fast forward 25 years later. And the person is no longer what they wanted to be or claimed to be. Like this guy, Maven, who won that show. He tried to be a wrestler. He didn't succeed very long. They cut him out. WWE broke off ties with him. Now he's a successful YouTuber. Nobody in their wildest dreams, not even him, thought he would be a YouTuber. You can just search on YouTube, Maven, WWE. He has a very successful YouTube channel. Nobody thought he would be there. Well, guess what? That's why he landed. If you had asked him when he was auditioning, what do you think, you'll be a YouTuber? YouTube didn't exist. He would have said, no, I'm destined to be a wrestler. And the funny thing is, if you search the names of all the other wrestlers, most of them are irrelevant. Most of them you can't even find anything. Even the judges who are evaluating them, some of them have lost everything. Where they were successful, they ended up bankrupt. Some are dead. So the point I'm trying to make with you guys is, life is so bloody unpredictable. You might think you won like this and oh, don't just suddenly bark. Give me an advance notice. If you just bark, you just like this only. He was quiet. He was standing there. He didn't say a word. And then all of a sudden, gave me a scare. Now all of them will bark. So the point I was trying to make was, life is so unpredictable. You might think you won the war. You win the battle, but you lose the war. Or I don't know if it's the opposite way. You might think you have a victory, but long term it'll be a loss. And sometimes the person who you thought, is a nothing, is nobody, failed, that person might end up being super successful. And sometimes you might think, this is the direction I want to move in life, but then you'll move totally somewhere else. So crazy, man. But I'll tell you, I love watching these reality shows because it's not like a movie. It's not like scripted. It's not like a happily ever after. There are so many twists. There's so many twists and turns. You just don't know where life is going to take you and what's going to happen next, Like even for me, forget me, you who's watching this video. Did you ever think you're going to be where you are right now, at your age? Do you know what's going to happen after 10 years? No. Go back 5 or 10 years ago. You notice that. Why are you barking? Got bored. It's a female. I think she has given birth to a couple of babies. Anyway. So, what I was saying is, if you go back in time 5 years or 10 years ago, did you ever think you're going to reach where you are? So that's how life is unpredictable. Yeah, it's unpredictable for all of us. Where we think we want to go and where we end up being and where we are going to go next is bloody crazy. So that is why I tell people, enjoy each and every moment of your life. Do the best of what you can. Will you make mistakes? 100% yes. Will there be regrets? 100% yes. Will you wish you had taken a better path or taken a better decision? 100%. But that is life. You can't plan everything out. Just take each day as it comes and then leave the rest. But enjoy the journey. That's what I tell people. Enjoy the journey. Because that's all that will remain. So anyway, a special thanks to my WhatsApp group members who helped me find this Tough Enough series. I couldn't get all the episodes, although I wish I could download all of them and have a collection. But then you do best with what you have. This is what I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, if you do know where I can get this Tough Enough series, comment or send me an email. I'd love to get my hands on the entire series, 1 to season 6. Right? By the way, you can't download it because there are no seeders for this. Alright? You guys take care. This is me signing off. Ciao.